One of our top priorities is in this video, I'm going to be talking about the consultation, meaning when a dog trainer talks to a dog owner and they're talking about possibly doing business together, having this dog trainer train your dog. So I'm going to be talking about this topic from two different perspectives, the dog owners and the dog trainers. So as a dog owner, this video is going to be helpful because it'll give you some ideas as to what to ask, what to look for, and how to prepare for the consultation. As a dog trainer, this is going to be very helpful. It'll allow you to skip some of the mistakes that I've made over the years. I've done so many consultations. So many of them have been really bad. So many of them have been awkward. I've addressed a bunch of these issues and have made my consultations a lot smoother. So if you're a dog owner looking for a dog trainer, very likely what you're doing is you're going in a search engine and you're typing dog trainers near me. And what's happening is you're getting a list of dog trainers in your area. You're going to the websites, you're going to the social media, you're looking at the reviews, you're looking at everything you can to try to get as much information about these dog trainers without having to contact them. And one of the things that is very high on your priority list is pricing. But you're probably noticing that most of these dog trainers don't have pricing on their websites. So then what you have to do is you have to call and ask them for a quote. And I know this because a bunch of my calls start out just like that. I just want to know what your prices are. I completely understand as a consumer myself, if I'm looking to get my vehicle repaired, if I'm looking to get something in my house repaired, that is one of the things that I'm looking for as well, because I'm trying to figure out how to budget for whatever repair needs to be made. So what you do is you go to the websites, you fill out a contact form, or you call them, you send an email, and at some point you get a hold of that dog trainer. Now on the dog trainer side, from the dog trainer's perspective, I'm going to speak a little bit on my behalf, but I'm also talking on the behalf of the other dog trainers as well. Normally what happens is when you call me, I'm trying to figure out the best way that I can help you. I'm not really looking to sell you something you don't need. Pricing can range from a couple of $1,000s to $5,000 plus. Now these are different services, and compared to another dog trainer, they also probably have their own set of services that range in various pricing options. So during the consultation, one of our top priorities is to get as much information about your situation as possible. So when you call me, I'm just trying to figure out how I can help you. I'm gonna get your dog's information, when you got your dog, how old your dog is, what the dynamics are at home. Things that might seem trivial to you, but are very important to me, because as I'm getting information from you, I'm also crafting the best possible service for you. And here's why. I have different services. So as you're talking to me, I'm deciding which service is going to be of most benefit to you. I don't want to necessarily waste your time with this option, this option, this option. I'll give you an example. One of the most common services for dog trainers is board and trains. So if you call a dog trainer and you talk to any dog trainer, there's a very good probability that a lot of them are going to try to pitch you a boarding and training service. That means your dog is going to stay with the dog trainer for a number of weeks. They're going to train your dog for you, and then you're going to pick up your dog. Well, in some instances, that is not the best option. So as I'm talking to you, and I'm sure a lot of dog trainers feel the same way. So as we're talking to you, what we're trying to do is we're trying to find the most suitable option for you. One of the things that is important from the dog trainer's perspective is to make sure we are talking to all the decision makers. I get it. I understand the process. What happens probably is you and your spouse or you and your relative are looking at a list of dog trainers, and what you're trying to do is you're each trying to contact different dog trainers. But what's very likely happening is one of you is in charge of talking to the different dog trainers. The one person that is doing that is relaying the information to the other decision maker. Or what happens is if both of you are talking to different dog trainers, then what you're doing is you're both getting together and talking about your conversation with these dog trainers. Completely understandable. It is a big decision to spend quite a bit of money in getting your dog trained and have your dog possibly stay with somebody that you've never met. So the whole we need to talk about this makes complete sense. But what I would suggest, it just makes the process go a lot smoother, is if we have both decision makers on the phone at the same time. Now, if you're quickly trying to get information, I'll certainly give you the information. I'll get as much information from you, and I'll give you as much information on my end, and I'll give you the best possible option for your situation, and we'll follow up. So what we'll do is we'll reschedule another call, or we'll follow up in some other manner while you discuss this with the other decision maker. Hey guys, real quick, if you're enjoying this episode, do me a huge favor, share it with somebody that you think might find it helpful, hit the like button and subscribe. Now let's get back to the video. Sometimes I do know, this is from experience, I completely feel this, and a lot of dog trainers probably feel this as well. Sometimes we know when I need to talk to my partner about this, or I need to think about this. We know when that is just a line that you're giving us to get us off the phone. And here's the thing, it's okay to say no, okay? You're not going to offend me if you tell me, look, this is just not for me. Thank you for your time. I'm gonna move on to somebody else. And in that instance, if you tell me that, I might try to clarify whatever it is that might have gotten misinterpreted. But at the end of the day, if you tell me, hey, I don't think this is gonna work out, I'm gonna go somewhere else, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. It's gonna save both of us a bunch of time. It's not a problem. Whatever the reason might be, maybe the pricing options that you're being given are not doable for you. Then if the trainer has financing options, then they can give that to you. You know, I have that as well. I'm able to facilitate financing to my clients, and that's come in handy multiple times. Now, talking about the pricing and the financing, look, one of the things you're probably thinking about is, why is dog training so expensive? This is one of the common complaints that a lot of people have, and I understand, because here's why. There's a very good chance that when you're calling these dog trainers, when they're in the consultation, if you're a dog trainer too, there's a very good chance that the person talking to you has very likely not talked to other dog trainers before. Okay, this might be the very first time that this person is getting information on dog training. So they have no idea what the price is gonna look like. As the dog owner, you might have zero idea of how much this could possibly cost. So as we're having this conversation and the price comes up, that does sound like a lot of money sometimes. Okay, the price that you're gonna get, depending on who you're talking to, might sound like, wow, I was not even expecting that. And here's where sometimes dog owners will make comparisons, right? They'll go, well, you know, I talked to these 3-4 people, and this one guy charged, I'm just gonna give you some hypotheticals here. This one guy charged $1,000 for a couple of weeks. This gal charges $3,000 for, you know, this much. This guy is asking for like over $5,000. And well, it's a no-brainer, right? If you look at it from the perspective of pricing, you're very likely gonna go, well, let's go to the $1,000 guy. I've had people that I've talked to that was their priority. That was what they were looking for. That's what they wanted. They just were like, nope, this is what this guy offers. This is what I'm going for. Look, pricing and dog training services, they're not apples to apples. And I'll give you a quick hypothetical example. The guy that might be charging $1,000, okay, maybe he's charging $1,000 for maybe a couple of weeks, maybe even 3 weeks, who knows? So at a surface level, it might seem like you're getting a lot for $1,000, but somebody else could be offering a similar service, and you might be thinking, well, that similar service is like 5,000 plus or 4,000 or whatever. But what you're not looking at is there might be an entirely different type of service compared to the $1,000 guy. Again, if you're a dog trainer, and I know this also from experience, I know that the services are not the same. So as an example, from my personal perspective, from what I offer, one of the things that I'll do is, I'll offer a video library that I made just for my clients. So when I give you my price tag, you're not just getting the same service that this other person is giving. What you're getting is you're getting a video library. The dog is staying in my home. You're getting me as a sole trainer for the dog. The dog is coming out multiple times. On top of that, you're also getting 3 months of private lessons. And on top of that, you're also getting 3 months of group classes. And on top of that, you're also getting all the training equipment included. So just as an example, if I compare all of that to the guy that is only doing 2 or 3 weeks of boarding and training, you're gonna see that even though these are similar services, dog training, you're gonna notice that the services are entirely different. So as a dog trainer, now to the dog trainers here, whatever your pricing is, I encourage you to lay that out as an entire package that involves this, that, and the other for this price. So if we break that down, if we were to break that down, well, this is what group classes would cost you. This is what private lessons would cost you. This is what the boarding and training will cost you. This is what the training equipment would cost you. Right? All of these things combined will probably be a lot more than this number right here. So the value to the pricing makes the service entirely different. So as a dog owner, just be aware of that. And I can tell you this, okay, don't just go by pricing. I'm telling you from experience too, okay? I've had clients whose their spouses decided, I want to go with the cheaper guy, okay? Like the client, this is why the decision making is best if both parties or all parties are involved. Because I've had conversations with one member of the family, okay? It made sense to the member of the family. I answered all of their questions. Everything made sense. They were 100% on board. And when the information got relayed to the other decision maker, well, the other decision maker doesn't have me to answer his questions. So this information relay now makes this conflict between the two decision makers, and obviously one of the decision makers sometimes has the final say. This is what happened in this particular case. So the spouse decided, no, we're gonna go with the other guy. He's closer, he's cheaper, we're gonna go with them. And then, being a good follow-up person that I am, I always check with them. Hey, I just want to see how you guys were doing. I hope that your dog's doing pretty well. I know that this guy's probably taking care of you guys, and I just wanted to let you know if you have any questions, just to let me know. Of course, I'm not doing this every week. I'm not doing this every couple of days. I'm doing this periodically because I genuinely want to help people. Okay, a lot of dog trainers actually genuinely want to help you out. There are some dog trainers that just want your money. That's a fact, okay? There are some dog trainers, they just want to shove the board and train down your throat. They want to get you money. They want to get your dog, quote unquote, trained. They want to get you out the door so they can get the next client. I know this for a fact, but there are dog trainers that genuinely care. Okay, I stay in touch with all of my previous clients. I'm always checking up on them, and I just rotate. I'm gonna check today, I'm gonna check on this person. Okay, next week I'm gonna check on this person, because I really wanna help them out. I'm very invested in this. As I was checking with this particular couple, with this particular person that I spoke to, later I got the inevitable, we totally should have gone with you from the beginning. We went with this guy, but the training wasn't as good, it wasn't as thorough, and they were just not happy with it. That's because the other guy, yes, was closer, yes, was cheaper, but to the other guy, it was just numbers. We gotta get him in so we can get him out, get him in so we can get him out. This is why it's important as the consumer, as the dog owner, that you understand that pricing is not always the thing. Like, talk to the trainer, see how you feel about this. Look, there should be no tension. It shouldn't feel like a power struggle. If you're talking to the dog trainer, as a dog owner, if you're talking to the dog trainer over the phone and the dog trainer sounds and feels like they're trying to get you to make that decision, they're really pushing you to make that decision, I believe it shouldn't be like that. Okay, when I have a consultation, whether it's in person or whether it's over the phone, we're having a conversation. I'm genuinely trying to help them out. I'm taking notes. I got my laptop up and I'm just typing down the information. I'm getting as much info and I'm giving as much info as I can give you to help you make a better decision. But at the end of the day, it's a conversation. We're actually talking. If the dog trainer comes across as they're just trying to push you, they're trying to get you to buy, possibly that might be a problem in my opinion. If the dog trainer makes you feel like your questions are silly, like if the dog trainer sounds like they're not being very patient with you, in my opinion, if they're not patient with you, they're not going to be patient with your dog. Okay, that's just my experience with a lot of dog trainers that I've dealt with. If they have no patience for you, what makes you think they're going to have patience for your dog? Okay, a lot of times that matches. Now, if you're the dog trainer, it shouldn't feel like a struggle either. So if the client, if the prospect client, if the dog owner sounds like they're just trying to get you out of the phone, they're just trying to get that price out of you, and it just sounds like the chemistry is just not there. You're trying to have a conversation, but to them, they're just like, look, I just want the information and move on. And it just feels like there's tension there. In my opinion, again, maybe tactfully move on. And the reason is this: I've done that before. I've been as pleasant as I can be with people like that. And when we happen to do business, the attitude never goes away. You get their dog, you train their dog, and they are as entitled during the entire time, asking as much as they possibly can. And you can pick that up a lot of times in the consultation. The reason I feel this happens is the people who are very reluctant to see your value as a dog trainer, they're more concerned about what they're losing, aka their money, than they are about what they're getting, which is all the value that you're pouring into their dog. They're always gonna want more. They're not gonna be satiated. They're gonna want everything. They're gonna want videos every 2 hours. They're gonna message you at 1 in the morning. They're just going to just have almost unrealistic expectations, because in their mind they're going, I'm paying this much and this is as much and more that I have to get, which to a degree it's understandable. But again, my experience has been with some of these people, when the chemistry is just not there, it's just not there. So as a dog owner, also pay attention to that, because it goes both ways. Look, I'm gonna tell you, as a consumer myself, okay, I buy all the things, right? I do get things repaired. I do have to sometimes pay somebody else to do something that I can't do myself. If I need my well worked on, I'm gonna pay somebody else to fix my well. If I need my AC, my hot water heater, if I need something installed that I don't have the tools or the skills to do, I myself, I'm not gonna do it. It's just a waste of my time for me to learn how to do that, for me to rent the tools, for me to learn how to use the tools, for me to do it. It's just gonna take me way longer. It's gonna take a lot more frustration. It's gonna take away from my business, and it's gonna take away from so many other things that I can do, whereas I could just pay somebody else who wants to do it, who's gonna put food on their table, and it's gonna be a win-win for everybody, right? I win because I don't have to rent the tools, I don't have to learn how to do those things that I don't know how to do, and I don't have to struggle and take hours out of my time, out of my business, to do something I have no interest in doing but has to get done, right? I don't have to do that. I can have somebody else do it, and they'll get it done in a fraction of the time than I can possibly get it done. So to me, this is a win-win. They win, I win. So as a consumer, I understand that some of these services, yes, they're gonna be expensive. The person is gonna be charging me for their time, for their expertise, for their tools, for the materials. It's completely understandable, because the guy that I'm hiring to do these things, they're not in the business of charity, and neither are dog trainers. So when somebody contacts me and I'm giving them everything, my heart and soul, right? I'm telling them this is what I'm going to do for you, dog, and this is how much time I'm going to dedicate to it. And we're really working together for this many months. We're not just doing a couple of weeks. We're not just doing a few weeks. We're doing it for this many months. Yes, the pricing is a factor, completely understand, but the dog trainer also has to put food on the table. They have to keep the lights on. Okay, some of these dog trainers that you're talking to, that is their main or their only source of income. So that's why they charge what they have to charge. Now, if you're a dog trainer and you have the advantage of the lower price, then that might be your edge. You know, that might be your advantage. Now, another thing too that I'm going to be talking about is during the consultation or before the consultation or after the consultation, as the dog owner, you have to be aware that there are dog trainers that are good and there are dog trainers that are just not good. Okay, and I'm not just talking about experience. I'm talking about the level of dedication and the ethics of each person. There are dog trainers that have done horrible things. It is unfortunate, but it's the reality. Dog training is an unregulated industry. This means anybody can become a dog trainer. There is no governing body that will tell you, no, you cannot be a dog trainer, or yes, you have the qualifications to be a dog trainer. That's a blessing and a curse at the same time. Because we don't have that, we don't have a regulation. It means that you're gonna have a lot of good people, but you're also gonna have some people that are not the best. And these are no exaggerations. There are dog trainers that have literally killed dogs, like killed, okay, through severe gross neglect, like not feeding them, not giving them any water, just lack of care and neglect, gross neglect. So what happens is, as the dog owner, you don't always know who you're dealing with. So it is important that you pay attention to all of these things. Okay, look at them from the perspective of, do I trust this person to take care of my dogs? Which is why, again, the consultation should feel like a conversation. Okay, there should be no friction there. The trainer should make you feel comfortable about this. They should be able to foster trust. Also, as the dog owner, look for evidence that this person knows what they're doing. How you're gonna find that is reviews, videos. Now, that doesn't mean that if they don't have those things, that doesn't mean they're bad people. It means that there is no evidence that they can do what they're telling you they can do. That doesn't necessarily mean that is bad or good. It just means there is no evidence. If there is no evidence, you can ask them, look, do you have anybody that you work with that I can contact? Just so I can get an idea of, you know, what it's like to work with you. If I'm a dog trainer and I don't have any reviews, which at some point I didn't, and I don't have any videos, which at some point I didn't, and you were concerned about, look, I don't even know if I trust this guy, and you were to ask me, hey, do you have anybody that you work with that I can talk to, any references? I would gladly give you those, because I'm confident that when I help somebody, I'm helping them 100%. So if I have no reviews, I have no videos, I'm gonna contact somebody that I work with, that I've helped, that can talk to you and tell you, yes, you know, Will is going to train your dog pretty well. He helped me with my dog, and this is what happens. It might not be the most reliable, because obviously the obvious thought there is, well, what if that person is somebody's just trying to help him out? Look, you get what you can. If there is no evidence, you get what you can. Now, as the dog trainer, what I'm going to tell you is gather as much evidence that you can do what you are telling people you can do. Okay, gather reviews. Gather footage, okay, get some video of your work, your personal dogs, the dogs that you work with. They should tell a story to your prospect client that, look, this person does know how to train dogs. It'll give the client, the prospect client, the dog owner, a peace of mind that, okay, this person is showing competence in dog training, versus somebody who just has a business card, right? Versus somebody who just has a website and a couple of pictures. So the more evidence as the dog trainer that you can gather, the better. As a dog owner, the more evidence that you can gather to help you make that decision, the better. And the consultations don't always end with a decision, right? They don't always end with, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Let's sign up right away. A lot of times there has to be, again, I need to talk to my spouse about this. I need to look at my budget. The owners, a lot of times they'll tell you, I'm going to talk to other people as well. Definitely go ahead and do that. So follow-up is very, very important. So if I talk to somebody, I'm going to follow up with them. I'm going to say, hey, how's it going? Did you get my notes? And that's one of the things that I do. And as a dog trainer, I'm going to tell you, if you're a dog trainer, I'm going to encourage that you do this as well, is as you are talking to these people on the consultation, as you're talking to the dog owners, take notes and email those notes to them. That's something I do, and it helps out enormously. It allows them to see our conversation in black and white, so that when the person has to talk to their spouse, they have my notes. They have the details and the outline of my services. So that way, when they talk to their spouse, they're able to make a decision by looking at an actual black and white document that I prepared during our conversation. And then after that, definitely follow up. Okay, it is part of the process. Sometimes you're gonna have multiple conversations before the decision is made. And this has happened with multiple clients of mine where, yes, they've talked to other people, they've talked to their spouses, they've talked to the other parties involved, and we've continued with more than one conversation on the phone before the decision was made, which is completely normal.